I love FNAF, you love FNAF, we all love FNAF. Whenever anyone mentions it, I'm like a sleeper agent, I just light up. But something that's always bothered me about the series is the way it chooses to present to us its story. I should probably be more specific, because FNAF is like an old dog. He's past his prime, a little sloppy, and he won't stop shitting on the floor, but you had him since you were a kid, so you still love him. Besides literally every story event being jumbled up in the timeline, and some questionable story decisions, my main problem with his writing is that FNAF's concept at its core would have been better suited for a character-driven story. What I mean by that is I think instead of focusing so narrowly on the timeline, dates, and the mysteries, it should have invested more in its characters. The Aftons and the Emilys to be more specific. Although animatronics have always been the draw into the series, it's the human aspect that kept people in. I mean, look back to FNAF 1. The whole concept was a purple guy stuffing the 5 kids in the animatronic suits. The whole franchise is built around that one single event. FNAF 6 ending was all about wrapping up the human characters' stories. Henry's end monologue is beautiful, but I wish we could have known anything about Henry before his climax. I actually think every single major plot beat of these games would have been strengthened if we knew anything about any of these people. If we were given more opportunities to get closer to these characters, we would in turn care about these characters more when things happen to them. Like getting crushed to death, or bitten, or purpled. To create an outline of a strong character, you really only need 2 things: a major flaw, and what we're going to be focusing on, clear motive. In FNAF 1, this wasn't needed as much. It wasn't as ambitious as the games that came after it, and it focused more on the one main story beat. Purple guy kills 5 kids and stuffs them in the animatronic suit. And it worked! The ambiguity actually played into the game's favor. It was up for you to ponder the mysteries of this game. But as more games came out, FNAF started to turn more into a sci-fi soap opera, which was fine. It had to shift, to flesh out the story created by the first game. But Scott should have also shifted his approach to the storytelling with it. Because the story refuses to give up ambiguity on almost everything, the characters suffer because of it. We don't get to know them, because knowing them, like why Purple Guy killed the kids, would take away from the mystery. They just exist as pieces we have to wrap around to complete some sort of puzzle. This whole game is built off of the premise of a tragedy, but it refuses to give us any intel about how the characters feel about it in any meaningful way. Something like Michael choosing to stay in the fire, burning with his father, would have had so much more impact if we knew literally anything concrete about this guy. There is an arc to be made there, but it's muddied up by FNAF ambiguity. No moment can truly ever be as satisfying as it would have been. With FNAF being the father of all mascot horror, it only feels fitting that the whole genre shares its shortcomings. There is so much lore and children death in these games, but all of it just starts to become noise if they don't have strong characters. It's a narrative equivalent of empty calories. Think about it in terms of fries. You have your french fries, the story, and ketchup, the mystery. Of course you want to have ketchup there to enhance the fries, but you can't be eating just ketchup alone. It's meant to enhance what you already have. So things like Bendy and Hello Neighbor start to feel like nothing sandwiches. I wanted to bring up Security Breach because I think it does something funky. The game pushes its characters into the forefront. The robots have more character than ever. When I was talking about the first 6 games, I focused on the humans. That's because the first 6 games put higher emphasis on the animatronics actually being scary. The Security Breach characters having such strong personalities make them not scary. Horror is created through the fear of the unknown, and I feel like I know these guys pretty well. But I actually like this new direction. I don't think FNAF has been scary in a long time. Now this game could focus on other things instead of pretending it was going to be something it wasn't. I wanted to focus on our 2 main characters, because I think they exemplify this game's strengths and weaknesses character-wise. I think Glamrock Freddy is easily the most lovable part of this game. He's established in the very beginning of the game, he has that golden retriever bumbling dad energy, and his motivation is to get Gregory out of the pizzeria. A great character. You get to know him early, and through the time spent with him, you grow to love him. He's also attached to the mystery of Glamrock Bonnie, the best mystery in the game. You get clues that are sprinkled all over the game about his disappearance, but notably it's more in the background. And you are invested because your good friend Freddy misses him. With Gregory, he sure has characterization, but why is he trapped in the Pizzaplex? I thought his motive was to escape, but the second he gets a chance, he changes his mind. Now it's to catch Vanny for killing missing kids. And this isn't treated like a plot twist, it seems like we were already meant to know this. And then you can instantly fix his newfound predicament if you click the Vanny button. I know Security Breach had almost every development issue under the sun, but my issue is that there's not even an attempt at setup. There was no hints or clues about this happening at all. If they had one voice line about this in the beginning of the game, then at least when I'm doing the Princess Quest minigames, I feel like I'm somehow reaching the objective of defeating Vanny. Feeling like I'm doing that with Gregory, growing more attached to Gregory through it. I'm very pleased with Security Breach Ruin because I think it's finally cracked the code. We established that Cassie wants to find her friend Gregory, a sympathetic goal, and throughout the adventure, we learn to care about her. I also really like how they made Cassie very different from Gregory, our last POV character. Cassie's kind and passionate and she cares about these robots, and Gregory's more into the little shit umbrella. It makes the moment when she's dropped in the elevator so much more impactful. So hopefully, Steel will continue that pattern and it's not a bunch more gobbledygook.